So this is a method that we have already seen before. Only we have actually calculated the influence factor using this huge equation that is seen on the screen. There is another way to determine these factors, influence factors. Mind you, I'm talking about Boussinesq's influence factors. Westergaard's theory, for that you'll have to use the equations that we discussed in Westergaard's theory. However, when you're using this method of integrals, for Boussinesq's theory, the IS 8009 gives you a chart wherein these factors are already available. So let's have a look at the equation, at the problem which we have already solved in the maybe 2 or 3 classes before. So what we had a foundation of 4.8 meters by 4.8 meters. So it was a square foundation. Okay. And let's say the problem in this case is to determine stress at a point A. Okay. Where is this A? This A is here. Okay. The red dot that I'm drawing. Okay. You are asked to find stress at a point A, okay, which is 1 meter by 1 meter inside the corner. The stress we will take same UDL is equal to 15 tons per meter square, and sigma z at a point 1 meter from the corner, and depth we will say sigma z 1 meter from the corner, and z is equal to, I'll take it as 6 meters, right? So now this particular problem can be solved by equivalent point load method as well as method of integrals. In equivalent point load method, what I will do is I will divide this area into parts wherein the largest dimension should not be greater than 0.3 times z, that is 6 meter. That is, your no dimension should exceed 1.8 meter. So you divide it into multiple parts, okay, and you have to find the distance of the centroid of each part from this point A. Okay, each of the part from point A. So now technically speaking, if it is 1.8 meter, area of 4.8 by 4.8, you will have to divide it in minimum how many number of parts? Maximum we don't want, we want minimum parts which are allowed for this equivalent point load method. So 1.8 plus 1.8, 3.6 plus another 1.8 will make it 1.8 into 3 will make it 5.4. So you can divide this into 9 parts. Okay, I'll quickly brush up with equivalent point load method, although I know we have already solved this, but example like this hasn't been solved. Okay, so we'll have 9 parts. Okay, like this vertically there'll be like this. I'll keep some. Okay, now drawing is an issue in these softwares. Use it. Okay, similarly like this, I'll divide it horizontally also equally. Okay, and then what I have to do? I have to find centroid of each of these parts. See, they are supposed to be equal. Okay, please excuse my drawing because this software has some limitation. Okay, so you'll have to find the distance of each of these centroids from this point A. That will be your R, and then you put it in the equation, and then you get the influence factor. All that you all know. Okay, if there is an issue with equivalent point load method, we will solve it separately. Personally, you all have to ask me because I don't want to repeat it for the whole class because that method has been dealt in detail. Now the question is method of integrals. How do we solve this? For method of integrals, the equation gives you stress at the corner of each area. Correct? So you'll have to divide this in such a way that point A is at the corner of each area. Correct? So I will divide it like this. Okay, so I have divided this into 4 areas, A1, A2, A3, A4, and point A, it is at the corner of each of these areas. By the geometry, we know A1 and A4 will have same areas. Size will be same. Okay. So whatever will be the influence factor of A1, influence factor of A4 will also remain same, because M and N, although exactly M and M value will not remain same. M is what? Width by Z, N is L by Z. Can you see the cursor? Okay, M is B by Z, L by Z. So A1, what will be M and N for A1? What will be the area A1? I will just write down the values. What will be the value of A1? This point A is 1 meter inside the corner, no? So 4.8 minus 1.8. So area A1 will be 3.8 by 1. If you all think I'm going a bit fast, you could pause the video in between and think whether what I've written is correct. A2 will be definitely 1 by 1. A3 will be 3.8 by 3.8, and A4 will be I have written ulta over here, so I'll just erase this. Okay, A3 will be 3.8 by 3.8, and A4 will be 1 by 3.8. Now, this M for A1 will be exactly N for A4, because this L and B have interchanged over here. However, the value of KB doesn't change. Okay, what is KB? Influence factor by business theory. This won't change because this equation, M and N can be interchanged. The value doesn't change. So influence of N as L by Z, if you write N is equal to B by Z, the value of this equation doesn't change. So by this theory, KB for A1 and A4 will remain same. Okay. Then what is your equation for stress? Sigma Z is equal to, the equation we have is sigma Z is equal to Q into KB1 plus KB2 plus KB3 plus KB. Now this is a very simple method, okay, except for the fact that this equation is huge and remembering this under the stress of exams is slightly difficult. Now I'm not saying that you can escape remembering this, but however, in case IS 8009 is available with you, then there is a chart in which you can skip remembering this. So I just thought I will explain you all the chart, because many times this code is permitted. Now, this is a chart which is given in IS 8009. It's figure number 18. I cannot tell you the page number right now. I've not opened the chart. But it's figure number 18. Somewhere at the end of the IS code this is. Okay. Now, what does this chart give you? Look at the x-axis and look at the y-axis. Okay. X-axis is B by Z. Okay. And y-axis is giving you Boussinesq influence factor, that is, they have written it as IB. Okay, here, can you see this? They have written it as IB. Okay, now, here, can you see this? This is IB, and that will be given over here. IB is on y-axis. Okay, now, the moment you have B by Z value, okay, and you know the L by Z, you can see these curves, they are drawn for various values of L by Z. So let's go back to our, I am dealing with area A1 with dimensions 3.8 by 1. My M will be B by Z, that will be equal to B, I'll keep it as the smaller dimension. So 1 upon 6. So my B becomes 0.167 and N becomes larger value. So 3.8 by 6. Why 6? 6 is the depth. Okay. So Z is given to you as 3.6. So N becomes 0.633. Okay. Now let's go back to the chart, or I'll get the chart inside here. It's looking ugly. So now you can see I will have to go to my x-axis, which gives me M is equal to 0.167 7. Now this is a logarithmic scale. Okay, 0.1. Can you see where is 0.1? 0.1 is here. Okay, and 0.2 is here. 1.5 will not be in the middle. It will be little bit closer to 0.2. And 0.16 will be nearly like 0.17 will be somewhere like this. So what I will do, I will draw a line just so that you all know where will be the approximate 0.17. So this will be my 0.17 line. Okay. Now, what is n value? N value is 0.63. So which is the curve which is corresponding to 0.63? Now you can see this curve is 0.6. 0.63 you can approximate slightly more than 0.6. Now you will have to find the intersection of this curve with this line. So what is the value? What is the value? It's KB 0.04. Now this is for 0.6 line. 0.63 will be slightly more. So now that will be your interpolation. Okay. So it will be slightly more than 0.04. In between is 0.05. So if you see, I can write this as nearly as KB is equal to 0.042. Okay, I am approximating this. For some people may write it as 0.041 or for some may write 0.0415. It's up to you. Okay, because there is no graduations in between, so you'll have to use some common sense and do it. So likewise, it is very easy for me to get the value of this influence factor for all the other areas. So let's say my second area is 3.8 by 3.8. So my M becomes 0.633 and N also becomes 0.633. Correct? Now again what I will do? I will go back to this chart. Now where is 0.633 now? Here you can see 0.6 and 0.8. This is very close. Your 0.633 I will just take it as a line somewhere in between. Okay. So I'll take a line here. Okay, and which will be intersecting with the blue line, same line. So my intersection point is here. Can you all see the screen? I'm trying to mark it huge. So what will be my Boussinesq influence factor? Now this point is 0.11. So slightly more than that. So I'll write KB is equal to 0.112. Okay, so likewise you can get the influence factor without this equation, just looking at the chart. Okay, and like once you get all these equations, all the values of KB, then you directly get the value of sigma z by using this particular equation. Okay, so try solving the same problems that we have done before by using this particular method.